Hi, Roger Magolas here, Vice President of Radar at O'Reilly. I'm at the Software Architecture Conference in New York City 2019. I'm here with Luc Brandts, the CTO of SIG. Welcome, Luc.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
To introduce yourself and a little about what the Software Improvement Group does.
As you said, my name is Luc Brandts. I'm the Chief Technology Officer of the Software Improvement Group, or short SIG. And maybe to introduce the Software Improvement Group a little bit more, we just opened up our New York office, which is one of the reasons we're here, and also presenting here at the O'Reilly conference. And what we're all about is we help clients improve their software quality. So what we do is, first of all, we first measure their maintainability. And let me explain you why, because that's very important. Whatever happens, there's always a reason to change. There is regulatory change, there might be a business need, there might be a technology change. There's always reasons to change. And that's why your software also needs to be easy to change. Now, our scientific research shows that in our five-star system that we've developed, that's been certified by ISO, that a 2-star rating takes 3 times more in changing your software than a 4-star system. If you compare a 1-star to a 5-star, that's even a factor of 10 or more. So that's enormous change. So imagine that. People always want to change their software, want to make things better for their clients. But if you can't make those changes, so we get all sorts of questions about performance, reliability, and all the aspects that you can imagine around software. But we've always first start by measuring how easy is it to make those changes. For that, we implement our platform called SIG, where SIG is a part of course. And we deliver our platform with a service. So we provide that platform that starts by measuring the maintainability to see how quickly you can make those changes. And on top of that, we provide additional analysis, like on reliability or architectural analysis or performance related, etc. And our consultants then come in to help you make those changes over time. That's maybe, in short, the summary of SIG.
Sure. Is there something that you can help the developers ahead of time? Is there something they have access to so that they can write better code from the start?
Sure. Actually, our platform is not just for to monitor your portfolio as a CIO or a portfolio manager. It's also for an architect. It's also for a developer. We have developed a number of guidelines, and for that, we've actually a book published by O'Reilly that publishes the way how to do it as a developer. So there's 10 guidelines in that book that clearly describes what you need to do to create maintainable software. As I said before, that's the fundament. On top of that, you can do all other great things. Now, these guidelines have also been implemented in software. So if people have used GitHub, they can have Better Code Hub. That's the name of the little tool that we've developed to help developers really make maintainable software. So they get their rating, they can very quickly see very actionable where they need to make those changes.
That sounds great. Are there all languages? Are you focused on a few languages, a few frameworks and environments?
That's a great question. Well, all languages, that's a big claim, but it's I think 275, so that's probably nearly all languages. That's a high number. And if occasionally a new language pops up, or a language that we haven't seen before, which includes very old ones, COBOL with assembler or whatever, or the most modern language. But if a new one pops up, the concepts are very similar, so in a few weeks we can help that implement. So it's pretty limitless, I would say.
Okay. As we think about the future, actually not even the future, what's going on now, there's a lot of things around microservices, a lot of concurrency and distributed systems. What is your kind of relationship to that kind of programming?
Well, it's a very interesting trend, and one of the things we do, obviously, we've been doing this since 2000. I've only been the CTO since last year, but the company has been around since 2000, and we've been following those trends. And our research team actually keeps close track of that, and we also know what those changes are, and we include them into our architectural models. So, for instance, something like a trend towards microservices has definitely a positive effect, but there's also downsides to it if you don't do it well. Not to go into too much detail, but of course when you it's not the silver bullet that solves all problems out there. So we know how to measure those structures as well and see what would work and would not work so well. So in very tightly coupled situations. Later today we'll have a talk about how the organization actually influences the architecture of a system, how you can actually, as an architect, help prevent the bad things going wrong there.
Well, that sounds like really good advice, considering we're at the Software Architecture Conference in New York. Like, what brought you to this particular event?
Well, a couple of reasons. Of course, that talk that we'll be doing together with Pepijn van der Kamp, one of our lead consultants. We'll be talking about architecture and how the influences of the organization have an impact on architecture and how you can actually work with that and work your way through as an architect with some very concrete tips and tricks and some measurement tools that we can, they can use. Mm-hmm. That's one. Obviously, the opening up of our American offices, from where we will be serving our American clients and hopefully expanding our footprint, and of course to be meeting a lot of people in the community.
Mm-hmm. That sounds great. We talk about microservices and stuff like that. How about machine learning? Topic everyone is talking about.
Very interesting. It's a topic that we also do research about because machine learning is not just the algorithm itself. It's the entire, say, data acquisition, whether data is being biased or not, has been and used correctly in the systems that follow. So when we do our analysis, we actually analyze the entire chain. And there's, you can't say it's good or bad, but there's definitely things to be learned from. Some good examples and some not so good examples.
I'll bet. I know that putting ML into production is not that straightforward.
And the algorithm component of it is obviously the one that everybody's talking about, but it's probably, if you look at the entire problem, only a part of the problem. You need to look at the entire chain because that's mostly where things go not so well.
Okay. Well, great. Well, thanks for your time here.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great conference.
Yep. Same to you. Bye.